guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm sharing some of our family favorites with you. These are meals that our whole family really loves. Really great ones that I think your family will also really enjoy. Definitely some of our family favorites and really quick and easy to pull together. You guys know that's my thing. I love quick and easy recipes. I'm a busy mom. I don't have a lot of time. So if you're looking for some really quick and easy recipes to throw together on a busy weeknight, but they taste really good, I think you'll enjoy today's video. If this is your first time stopping by my channel, I just want to say welcome. My name is Caitlin. I share a lot of really quick and easy recipes, crockpot dinners, meal prep, and other motherhood related content. So if that is something that you're interested in, make sure you're subscribed, and let's go ahead and get into today's video. For this first dinner, I'm making some oven meatballs with a mushroom gravy on top. I'm starting off with about 1 pound of some lean ground beef, and then I'm adding in about a 1/4 cup of some minced up onion. Here is 1/2 cup of some instant brown rice. You could also use white if you want. And then into this little baggie here, I have about 3/4 cup of some Ritz crackers. You want to just crush all of these up, and these are actually going to get added right into meatballs. You could also substitute breadcrumbs here if you want, but I've always used Ritz crackers and they seem to turn out really well this way. So I'm just dumping that right into the meat mixture as well. And then here is 1 egg to bind everything together. You're also going to want to add about a teaspoon of just some regular salt, about a teaspoon of some garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and then a couple tablespoons of some all-purpose flour. And then here is 1/2 cup of milk, and then I'm just taking my spoon to kind of start to combine all of this together. I do eventually start to use my hands just to get everything really well combined. Now that my meat mixture is all combined together, I'm just spraying a 9x13 baking dish with some olive oil, and then I'm taking my ice cream scooper and I'm just going to use that to help form my meatballs. I always love to use a ice cream scooper anytime that I am making meatballs. I feel like it makes them really nice and uniform, so I will just scoop them up and then roll them out that way. Really quick and simple. I will have this one linked down below off of Amazon. It's just the Wilton scooper. It's very cheap and affordable, but it has held up really well for me. So I definitely really like this one. Now into a separate bowl here, I'm adding in 1 can of cream of mushroom soup along with about 1/2 can of some milk, and I'm just going to mix all of this together. This is actually going to make up the gravy that goes on top of the meatballs. I am going to add in a little bit of just some black pepper and some garlic powder. I did not add any salt. I feel like the cream of mushroom makes it salty enough. You can also double the gravy if you want to. This isn't going to make a ton of gravy, but I tend to not have a lot of gravy on these meatballs, but you can definitely double the recipe of the gravy if you want to, and it will turn out absolutely perfect. But I'm just going to cover this up with some tin foil, and this is going to get baked in a 350-degree oven for about 1 hour or until your meatballs are all the way cooked through. This is what it should look like when it comes out of the oven. I really like to serve these meatballs over a bed of rice or mashed potatoes paired with a veggie on the side, and it's a really hearty dinner. This next recipe is one of my all-time favorites for both my husband and myself, but I'm going to be making some baked chicken strips. These are so good and they turn out so crispy, especially for being in the oven. And this is a secret here. We're going to melt a couple tablespoons of butter in our saucepan, and then I'm going to be adding in my breadcrumbs, and we're actually going to toast them up. So this is about 1.5 cups of some Italian panko breadcrumbs. You can use the Italian ones, or you can also use the regular ones that don't have any extra seasoning added, but I really like to use the Italian ones, and I'm going to toast those up for about 5 minutes until they are really nice and golden brown in color. Now into this separate little bowl here, I'm going to be adding in all of the different seasonings. This is going to make the chicken strips really flavorful and delicious. I did go ahead and double this recipe, so I'm just going to link the whole recipe down below for you guys to make it a little bit easier for you to follow along with. But this is basically paprika, salt, onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, as well as a little bit of some cayenne in there. But I will have the full recipe linked down below. And then into my other bowl here, I'm adding in the flour as well as a couple teaspoons of that seasoning mixture that I mixed up, and I'm just going to give this a quick mix together. Now I'm going to be making my egg wash that's going to go over my chicken and help to coat everything. So this is just 2 eggs, and then I'm adding in about 4 tablespoons of milk, and I'm just going to give all of this a good mix together. I know this might seem like a lot of steps to mix everything up, but it's not too bad. It really only takes a couple of minutes and it's so worth it. So here in this other bowl, I'm going to be adding in all of my toasted breadcrumbs. This is the ones that I fried up in the butter, and then I'm also adding in a little bit of some Parmesan cheese. I'm probably adding in about a 1/3 cup here, and then I'm also going to add the rest of the seasoning mixture in there, give all of this a good mix together, and then we are ready to coat the chicken. Now for the chicken, I have actually used a couple of chicken breasts here. I just sliced them up into some thin slices. You can also use some chicken tenderloins if you want to, but I personally prefer the chicken breast cut up. But you're just going to coat them in all of this mixture. So you're going to put it into the flour first, then into the egg wash, and then lastly into the panko breadcrumb mixture. Make sure you get a nice thick coating on there. You guys, these are the best chicken strips you will ever have. They're so good and flavorful. I love making them when we have guests over. They're just a really good crowd pleaser that people love, but these are going to get baked in a 390-degree oven for about 20 minutes. I do like to spray them with a little bit of oil just to make sure they get really nice and crispy, and this is what they look like when they come out of the oven. They are absolutely delicious, and I know your whole family is going to love them. For this next dinner, I'm making some chili lime shrimp, and this is something that I wanted to replicate from a restaurant that we were at recently. So I'm starting off with my shrimp in a bowl, and then I'm just adding in a little bit of sriracha in there. I'm also going to add in some chili powder as well as some garlic powder, and then I am also going to add in a little bit of lime juice. Of course, you could also use a fresh lime if you have one of those on hand. And then for the oil, I'm just adding in a little bit of olive oil, and I'm giving this a good mix together, and I'm just going to add all of this right into my saucepan. So I heated up my skillet to medium heat, and then I'm just throwing my shrimp right in there. Now I will say these are pre-cooked shrimp. You can also use raw for this if you want, but my husband always prefers me to buy the cooked shrimp. He just prefers it that way. He likes his shrimp to be more on the firm side, but go ahead and get whatever you prefer and just adjust your cooking time. But I'm basically just heating these up until they are warm. I didn't really have to cook them since they were already cooked shrimp. And then towards the end, I just added in a little bit of butter just to give it that butter flavor. But I only had these in the pan for just a couple of minutes, and they turned out really good. I just served these shrimp alongside some rice, and this was a really, really quick and easy dinner. This next dinner is going to be a baked ziti, and this is definitely a crowd pleaser. My kids love this one, so I think a lot of your families would really enjoy it as well. And starting off with 1 pound of some lean ground beef, you can see that I'm just adding it into my skillet here. I actually had this pre-cooked, so I just dumped it in there. And then I'm also adding in 1 jar of some pasta sauce. Go ahead and use whatever you prefer. I am adding in a little bit of water just to get the last little bit of sauce out. And then I'm just going to heat this up until all of the sauce and the meat is heated through. And then into my other pot here, I'm just adding in 1 box of ziti pasta. I'm just going to salt the water a little bit, and then I'm going to cook this pasta up completely. Once the pasta has completely cooked, I'm just going to go ahead and get that all drained off, and then I'm going to add it right back into my pot here. And I'm actually going to be adding in some alfredo sauce. So this is just a smaller jar of alfredo sauce that I'm dumping in. I am going to add in a little bit of water again, shake it up, and get the last little bit of sauce out. And then I'm just going to mix all of this in there. You can definitely add in some garlic powder if you want to, or some extra seasonings, but I usually just keep it pretty plain and simple here. But just go ahead and get all of that alfredo sauce mixed in. Now that my pasta and my sauce is prepped and ready to go, I'm just getting my casserole dishes ready. So normally I would use a 9x13 baking dish for this, but I actually wanted to divide this into 2 different dinners. So I am using 2 smaller dishes on this night, and it worked perfectly. I just put one in the fridge, and I actually warmed it up the next day at a friend's house, and then the other one I went ahead and baked right away. So this is one of those meals that's really easy to prep ahead of time, and you can just pop it in the fridge and heat it up later on. But I'm basically just just adding 2 layers into this dish. So I'm going to do noodles, sauce, and then I'm going to top it with some mozzarella cheese, and then I'm just going to repeat that until there is 2 layers. This is such a great dinner if you just need something really quick and easy. My kids love this one, and I always have the ingredients on hand, so this is one of those dinners that I make a lot in our house and always seems to be really enjoyed whenever I make it. I do like to cover this dish up with some tin foil. I feel like it helps keep a lot of the moisture in and it helps it from getting dried out. And then I'm just going to bake this at 350 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes. You basically just want to cook it through until it is nice and warm and the cheese is all melted. But this is such a great dinner, especially if you have kids. I think they would really enjoy this one. I hope you guys really enjoy this recipe. Well, that is going to wrap up today's video. I really hope that you all enjoyed these really quick and easy recipes. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you have not already. I share a lot of really quick and easy recipes on my channel, meal prep, crock-pot dinners, and other motherhood related content. So if that is something that you're interested in, make sure you're subscribed, and I will catch you all in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
As a young girl, the fields were mine. We played hide and seek for hours, raised our shadows among the pines. So offshore, playful and free, without a care.